share.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
Less than ideal, probably, actually.
How old is she?
She's only like 7 months. Maybe we might be pushing 8 months at this point. She's getting old.
Yeah, she's becoming a grandma.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Right off of the street, actually.
Oh, so you just found her just walking down, and
we put out a trap, and we brought it to the local shelter for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, they gave it to us, and now this is the cat.
Aw. She is so sweet. What's her name again?
Spooky.
Spooky, yes.
I'm sure the podcast will definitely get a glimpse of the cat on several occasions during this.
For sure, yeah. Well, we are going on YouTube now, and we're going on there
and there. Yeah. What's up? I can't read what everyone's saying, but what's up, everybody?
What up? Yeah, you can watch this feed on both YouTube, my Instagram, and George's Instagram.
Oh yeah.
This is awesome.
We got Jake with the Ghouls typing and saying, "What's the Spooky the Wonder Cat?" That's the full name. I just shocked you. I'm so sorry.
I'm waiting for. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm waiting for everybody at work to come on here and start trolling us.
No, totally.
Where's Nate? Where is he? Yeah,
get Nate on here.
Yeah, get him on here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for hopping on and doing this.
Of course, I'm excited.
Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're on location in Lowell. The exact address is exactly. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Yeah. So I'm hanging out here with George Danahy, and for those of you that don't know, George is in the band The Ghouls.
The Ghouls. If you can follow us at the.ghouls.ma. If you're watching live right now, we're also doing a live over there as well.
Yep.
That's why we keep pointing over there.
And here.
And there. That's the Boris cam, that's the Ghouls cam, and that's the YouTube cam.
The YouTube cam, yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, head over to the YouTube feed as well. Let's try and blow this up.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And you can go to the Ghouls feed, or no, the George feed to look at the cat, because my camera won't pick that up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah. So George and I met when you started teaching at the Rock Institute.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we've gotten to know each other through that. You don't teach there the same days I'm there anymore.
Yeah, no, we don't see each other as much.
Yeah, but
it's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. But, still got to hang out a bunch there and whatnot. And
we got a gig coming up, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, so, both iterations of your band, they're just 2 iterations of it?
I mean, it's the same music. I think it's just it started off as just my name.
Right.
But then I was like, you can't do rock music without a band name. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean,
and plus I also want to open up songwriting more to other people as well.
Right.
So I felt as though it would just be in my best interest to come up with a band name. And my lovely roommate, Peter, came up with that band name. He was like reading off his list of band names, and they all sounded very metal.
Yeah.
And then he got to the Ghouls, and I was like, wait, go back.
Well, I'm glad you said list of band names and not like autobandnamegenerator.com.
No, yeah.
Or something.
It was off the dome. It was off Peter's dome.
Nice.
He's over there for
anyone. Peter's over here out of frame.
Out of frame.
He started the live feed on Instagram, by the way.
So for the Boris cam.
Yep. Okay, you guys would not have that if he didn't.
Exactly, that luxury. It's all for him.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today is just talk about a little bit about your band and what you got going on, but I also want to talk about I want to delve into the indie scene a little bit.
Totally.
Now, I mean, I don't consider you guys an indie band per se, but there's definitely elements of indie rock in some of the music. I think. And one thing I've noticed too, doing the progressive thing myself, the progressive rock thing, it seems like the indie scene is one of the most accepting scenes in music, by which I mean they seem like the most open-minded.
No, I can totally see that. I feel like you can like get like a mosh happening in like almost any genre or any like subgenre of indie in the indie scene. Even like the softer stuff, I'll always see like people getting into it, people like accepting like new sounds and whatnot. It's really cool.
Yeah. Like I've been on bills with bands that don't sound anything like what I do. And and I'm playing this really intense progressive instrumental progressive metal. Yes. Yeah. Spooky approves. But everyone else in the audience was playing music that's way lighter than me. And I'm expecting to just scare everybody away. No, everyone in the audience just loves it.
No, they working with a lot of like more indie bands and like more indie style bands and kind of like that niche is all. It's like we're always playing with the nicest people,
right?
Like people like I would like choose to hang around if like we weren't in that situation. It's really cool.
Yeah. One time I remember I threw myself into one time there was an open mic going on at one of the clubs in Boston. Which just meant, but they didn't specify what open mic meant. You could just go up and do anything.
Yeah, no, totally.
That's not illegal. So I just went there kind of with just like my what I'll call NAMM setup. A few backing tracks and a really small like pedal board that I can almost go direct in.
Yeah. I need something like that. Sounds lovely.
Yeah. Well, I did that, and what was interesting with that was when I went there. There was only one performer on there. It was a duo that was doing anything related to like playing instruments. It was more so like a rap and a hip hop kind of night. Everybody like rapping or beatboxing or just singing over tracks. They also had a DJ playing in between, or you had people doing like slam poetry or something.
That's sick.
Yeah,
that sounds like an awesome kind of night.
Well, and here's the thing though too. I walked in there and I'm about to play stuff from my first album, and I'm just like, I wonder if this is gonna work. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it, and again, such accepting people.
No, I love it,
and I'm still in touch with some of those people to this day. It's insane. Yeah,
they're also awesome to work with in terms of like trying to like get gigs together. Like never feel like it's all business, but like never really feels like a business thing. It really just kind of feels like you're just kind of trying like helping out a bunch of like a friend. Like, oh, I haven't talked to that guy in a while. Let me throw him on.
We're all in this together.
No, exactly. It's really something. I like it a lot.
Yeah, but then here's the other big question: why do we think that is? Is it something in the music? Is it something in the culture? Yeah, I know we're getting philosophical here, but
I kind of like think it might have something to do with like indie being as broad of a like genre as it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I feel like
for independence. So.
Exactly. And plus like inherently means like you're kind of running this stuff, and I feel like everyone kind of inherently like respects each other for trying to run that stuff. And like I said, indie is a very broad genre. Like you can get like any sound. So I feel like everyone's very used to hearing like a wide spectrum of people. So I feel like as long as you put on like a decent show, your music's half decent, and you're just a good person, then people will just naturally just like you.
Yeah. But it also makes me wonder, why is it that so many other styles
can be gatekeepy?
Yeah.
No, I totally see it. Like, so I can see a lot of other styles being very like, oh no, you're not really with us. You know what I mean?
And I don't know why that is. I mean, even in the indie scene, there can be some of it to a degree. There's dickish people in every respect, but like
I feel like I feel like with indie, like when it comes to like, oh, that's not real indie, like I feel like you only really get that if you're like already on the top.
Yeah.
I feel like you only with like that's not real metal, that's not real emo, that's not real rock or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of stuff can be very like that starts to get subjective of like, well, what even really is real emo, rock, metal?
Yeah.
And with indie, it's because it's so broad and because it's so I guess like I would really describe as the only thing I really not describe as indie is like people who've like already like made it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you think about again that genre, and again coming as a guy from the prog world, which by the way, I don't just listen to or play that style of music. I listen to literally everything.
Totally.
All right. If you've seen the stuff I post on Instagram,
what's your favorite rap album?
Favorite rap album?
Yeah.
Probably You want to know the interesting thing too? I can't really name you a rap album, but I can name you like songs that I like.
Have you ever tried listening to the album "To Pimp a Butterfly," Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, I still haven't, but I need to.
You absolutely that's like I have the vinyl for it. It's kind of poking out.
Okay.
But it's like that, like "To Pimp a Butterfly" is like, in my opinion, like the perfect like rap album where it combines like so many like aspects of jazz and so many like really talented people on one track, on one whole thing. I love that album.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out for sure. Yeah. You know what's interesting, actually, speaking of rap, and we're talking about like just music being very, very diverse.
No, totally.
In the indie scene. Polyphia, you're wearing the shirt over there.
Yeah, Pete's wearing the shirt out of the shot, but he's wearing it. He's repping the boys.
Yeah. I mean, most people are, would call them math rock or whatever. I certainly would not call them an indie band per se.
No,
however,
they probably started as one, but like obviously everyone.
They actually started off as a death metal band, believe it or not.
I've heard some of their early stuff.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah. Tim Henson will talk about that all the time. Downtuned 7 strings and whatnot.
Now they're in E standard most of the time.
Pretty much, or E flat standard.
Yeah, sometimes they dip to something lower, but most of the time, most of their music's E standard.
Right, yeah. And what's interesting I've noticed is they I really love the fact that they're starting to bring, it's because of them that sound is starting to poke its head into the mainstream.
No, yeah, definitely. That like kind of like neo soul-ish.
Yeah.
No, anything, to be honest, I get happy at like any attempt at like guitar being presented, even if it's like I really don't like I really don't like MGK as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the idea that like guitar is getting played on like distorted guitar and loud distorted guitar music is getting played on like pop radio stations.
Yeah, and not just power chords, like stuff that requires ability.
Oh yeah, no, with going back to Polyphia, I love when I hear like a nice Ichika got played on some pop song.
Oh yeah,
I forget what it was, but he got played on it. His like he got tracked for some like really big pop song that came out.
Yeah, and like I've seen. I saw Jimmy Kimmel give Tim Henson a shout out one time, and
that's crazy.
I'm like, how does he know who Tim Henson is?
That's nuts.
And I'm like, but I'm happy to see that. And not only that, every video they put out, like just on their YouTube channel, not just music videos, whatever, every single thing. Tim Henson's practice routine, couple million. There's always a couple million hits on there. It just makes me so happy to see that.
No, yeah, it makes me really happy when the guitar is just because like it's for like I feel like guitar goes away and it comes back in like a big burst.
Yeah,
like and I feel like me and Pete are riding like the wave of people who came back to guitar from Guitar Hero.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm speaking for you over there, but I absolutely like Guitar Hero. I like ate that stuff up.
InstaFeed will hear you if you want to shout out. But yeah.
But
not really.
I don't know. I had a bunch of friends who played Guitar Hero, but I like.
Am I speaking for you?
It just because you gotta buy all the extra.
No, you do gotta buy all the extra stuff.
But it's crazy how many bands from that era like blew up off that. Like, I don't think Dragon Force would be as big a name.
No, no way.
Not at all. Not at all.
For that, so it's like even. Since I never played it a bunch, like
Dragon
era, like the influence of it is there.
Right.
The Boris cam's down. We're back. Boris cam's back.
Oh yeah. You want to know what it is? You gotta put your Wi-Fi in on this thing.
I got you.
All right. So Wi-Fi searching.
But yeah, no, I'll try to keep the conversation going while I do that. I start like as like a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. I remember
funny Wi-Fi.
I remember, yeah, no.
I want to tell the people our Wi-Fi.
No, yeah,
yeah. Well,
we're funny. Well, I'm not saying the password on the live because to be honest, I'm kind of embarrassed by it. But
I just realized I did say the name of your Wi-Fi.
That's okay. I don't care about that. It's funny Wi-Fi. Remember the address is. But no, I remember in kindergarten.
Yeah.
I actually put on one of my for Valentine's Day. We had to say a couple things that we loved, and I remember on my Valentine's Day card I put "I love my mom" and "I love Guitar Hero 3."
Oh, that's great. I had Guitar Hero 2.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I had that, and I had
I had all of them up to like the Guitar Hero Metallica, then I fell off.
Yeah, I had 2, and I also had I had 2, and I had the 80s one.
Hell yeah. I know they had a Van Halen one too. That was a smaller version. That was like a smaller, like kind of like it almost felt like a mod.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do as much Guitar Hero because I had already, by the time I got Guitar Hero, I was what, 13?
You're already playing guitar.
I'd been playing guitar since I was 6. So,
Yeah, no, I started at like 12, I think.
Right.
And I was, like I said, I was playing Guitar Hero. Like, I genuinely think the Guitar Hero helped me with like getting better, like getting started on guitar, because it, like, while it's like just buttons and a little strumming thing, it's still, you're coordinating your right and your left hand to be in that position. Like, you have to strum and you have to hit a note at the same time.
And most importantly, you're
rhythms too.
Yes, and also most importantly, you're hearing new music.
That too. No, that especially I like that. To be honest, that really, Guitar Hero really introduced me to rock music.
Yeah.
And I have so much respect for that game, because I can't not, like, without lightly saying it, I can't lightly say that it definitely changed my life, which is funny to say that a video game changed my life.
Was that how you got into guitar in the first place?
No, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I remember it introduced me to a lot of different artists as well. Or if not just a lot of different artists. I mean, I knew who a lot of them were, but just didn't listen to their music at that point.
Totally.
Yeah. But it's just, yeah, and I think we are getting into that resurgence now where guitar is becoming a lot more popular than it was, say, 10 years ago.
No, definitely. But like now that someone's coming along and kind of combining it with like a more modern kind of music, like not like, I'm not gonna say trap, but like more hip hop beats too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's also because of this whole progression I think we've had over the past, well, now I can say 14 years. Actually, no, if we really want to do it correctly, we say 16 years. When what's considered now the modern progressive metal sound was being formed by, when Periphery and Animals as leaders and Sixth and whatnot were just in their formation.
Yeah.
It's purely guitar driven.
No, definitely.
And of course, it was very, very underground by that point. But then it started to really poke its head through by the time, I want to say, Tesseract had done their second album. By the time Periphery had done their second album, everyone that was on the Andy Sneap forum was really starting to pay attention to that.
No, totally.
And then it just kind of just started spreading like wildfire. But at the same time, you knew about it if your friends told you.
No, totally.
But then, of course, you're having this new style of music being put together that's influenced by a combination of, well, a lot of things, but Meshuggah and Sixth, but also pop punk.
No, totally.
It's kind of interesting seeing how it all feeds into each other. I've tried to show people that correlation, because Periphery and the Contortionist will tell you they were listening to The Used back in the early days, like the early 2000s. So if you put on, I'm going to use a sort of a direct quote from Spencer Sotelo. If you listen to Box Full of Sharp Objects, when you listen to it, it does kind of sound like a Periphery song, but just not as technical.
No, yeah.
Vocally and compositionally.
No, I can totally see that.
Yeah, you just make it a lot more technical, put more like odd meters and, accents in it, and then you got that sound. Then you add Meshuggah on top of that, and then there you go. And Pliny will say the same thing. So you see that progression happening, and then Tosin, who's, in my opinion, on the verge of reinventing the guitar again.
Oh no, yeah, believe me, I bought that thumb course.
yeah.
The $30 thumb course, I bought it.
I did too. Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, okay, Jimi Hendrix reinvented the guitar, then Eddie Van Halen reinvented the guitar. Now I think we're at a point where Tosin's just about to reinvent
Tosin and Tim, and I guess Tosin's probably the more Tosin's definitely the more like technically good, but Tosin, and then Tim's like kind of like presenting it and popularizing that.
Yes,
I feel.
And that's kind of what I'm leading to. Is that like the reason I think they're starting to get further out in the mainstream? I'm gonna move over here.
No, yeah,
so
no,
I'm not out of the frame.
No, do you need?
Yeah, but yeah, I think what's going to happen is, yeah, what's happening now is now we have Polyphia and Animals as leaders. Basically, kind of all these bands are responsible in some way, absolutely. But I am finding, because Tosin is really pushing the boundaries of not just guitar performance, but guitar design.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've seen those new Tosin guitars. They look nuts.
The Abasi guitars and
the Abasi ones. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. The Abasi guitars and the Strandberg guitars are really pushing the boundaries of guitar design.
No, it's
and I'm
nuts.
not just saying that because I play Strandberg guitars most of the time.
I've played them and they feel definitely like the most
Abasi or Strandberg.
I play Strandberg. I've never played an Abasi.
Yeah.
But I've played several Strandbergs and they definitely feel like they're just trying to make the guitar as like playable as it possibly can.
It's extremely. What's your opinion? You're a guitar player.
Yeah. So I mean, me and Jordan talked about. I like the Strandbergs. I think they're neat. I think the first time I saw them was I was watching a Hacken music video.
Oh yeah.
For Cockroach King, and they're like Muppets, and they built like a little like
car. yeah. Right.
Goofy little guitar. I love how like compact and like they are, but like it's very much you can see Strandberg has had that influence on it because everyone's doing their own take on the headless thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe it is just because they were the first to do it, but like no one's come close. Like
well, the headless guitar has been around since the 80s.
But like this is kind of like modern resurgent of it, and just like the hyper ergonomic shapes and stuff, and it's just like some of them look kind of ugly, but like then you play them and it's it looks like that because it's all ergonomic and it's good.
I will say, as like awesome and all playable as they are, there's something about like an imperfect guitar though for me that I really like. Something about like this, like the imperfections of the straight frets and the imperfections of like some. I play a Strat.
Yeah.
Jack White said you want a guitar, you got to like fight a little bit.
That's right. He did say that. And trust me, I love guitars with headstock. I love old guitars, you know.
Yeah.
I just play the Strandbergs a lot because, you know, I write a lot of 8-string music, and again, it is very comfortable and it's lightweight. But I still have a 74 SG. I still have a Gibson Les Paul. I still have a Stratocaster. I play classical guitar too. So, you know, I love all my stuff. So I get what you're saying.
No, totally. There's just
they're very much just like it's another tool.
Exactly. It's another they're just another. I feel like those like crazy guitars are just like another tool, like you were saying. I'm just trying to rephrase. I don't know if you're getting picked up on the mic, so any chance I get, I try to rephrase what you say.
Yeah. Well, also,
at least the
Insta
feeds get it.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, chime in if you want. It will be picked up. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know about the YouTube feed, but
maybe I can like do like one of these situations. Yeah, yelling at me.
No, I really like the Strandberg.
That does pick up.
Wait. Play TPAB for the rest of the interview.
To Purple Butterfly. I'd do that.
Yep.
If we don't get copyright struck on YouTube.
Yeah, and not only that, trying to, if we want the YouTube feed to hear that, I would need more inputs on here, and we'd have to jack into. And I'm not. No.
Well, we can mic up the speakers.
That'd be hilarious.
We got some mics
Yeah, that's true.
No, he's got Focusrite 2i, so we.
I have the 18i20 back at home.
I use a Solo. I've been repping my Solo forever.
Yeah. Well, the reason I have the 18i20 is because, so you guys know my brother is the drummer in my band.
No, yeah, I know that.
So ever since, I started getting into recording, I've always been like, I need to have one with 8 inputs on it so I can always record him for something. So that's why I've always had, but I have this one for these kinds of situations.
You gotta have, I feel like you gotta have like at the very least a portable audio interface.
We just need an interface with more inputs because like our biggest issue right now is we want to record a bunch more stuff, but we want to get good drum tracks.
Yeah, no, with Ghouls.
Like only like limiting factor.
Yeah, no, with Ghoul stuff, definitely the limiting factor is just us trying to find like a good space to record drums and a good like.
Do it at the school.
I was thinking about it. Like I might be able.
That's where I did drums for my album.
Maybe I might be able to ask Joe if we can do it in the base. We have some room. Like we've been told rooms, but we also need to have like a good like interface that could take that many inputs as well.
Just get the 18920. That's what I used.
Totally.
You only need 8 mics on the kit, really.
Oh yeah.
If you decide to do it at the school, I'm saying this on live television right now. He's gonna scream at me tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. No. But like if you do it there or whatever, just get yourself just an 8.
I'm sure
just an 8 input. Yeah. You only need really 8 mics, 2 overheads.
Yeah.
2 overheads, rack, kick, floor, snare top, and snare bottom. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And if you only want to mic the top of the snare, use the extra input for like if you want to do a kick in, kick out, or if you just want to have that be a room mic at the back of the room.
There's this one studio we're recording at, and it's only like 130 for 4 hours.
That's not bad. What studio?
What's it called again?
The Record. Oh, Record Co. Yeah, I live really close to there. I've played there. I've recorded there. I used to rehearse there all the time. Yeah, the place is awesome.
Yeah, no, that's where we're going to record it. We're going to try that just to get some some of the stuff that we can't really play like separately, stuff that we need to play as a band.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to get those tracks there. And then we're just gonna see what we can do from there. After that, if we want to keep going Record Co, if we should just try to like DIY our drums.
Whichever, yeah. I mean, the main thing too is that like, are you guys mixing the album yourselves, or what are you doing?
We're definitely. I think we're gonna definitely try to, because we have 2 people in our band that are in the sound recording technology. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you. I just want to make them.
I'm in the SRT program, and so is our bassist.
Yeah.
Right.
So like the Hellbound single, that was
our Hell
project.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just been
we stole the stems.
Have turned out we just haven't had any opportunities to like in a class time record our own music.
Right.
Sorry, I keep talking over you. I'm just trying to make sure this mic gets it.
No, this is like no.
But yeah, we have a bunch of sound recording guys in our band, and I'm like I call myself like half a sound recording guy because I record. I got composition. And I teach all the mixing stuff to myself.
You don't need to censor yourself.
Shit to myself, DIY.
Don't shit yourself.
No! But I know I try to teach a lot of that mixing stuff to myself, like just by myself, if possible.
Well, I mean, there's 100 zillion tutorials on it.
Exactly. Yeah, I was working at Home Goods. I like would sneak I hope no one at Home Goods is watching right now. I would sneak my earbuds in. And I just, I'd make sure I was doing the job.
I just got a text, you've been fired.
No! I do my job well enough, like my managers like me, but I definitely would sneak in my earbuds, and I'd be trying to like do like an EQ tutorial that I was listening to.
Yeah.
It was like, no, this is what the low mids sound like.
Yeah.
Get home from work, like, just started the 10-hour compression tutorial.
Oh, yeah.
It was those like 10-hour tutorials would be very helpful, but there was definitely information overload.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
it helps in the long term, though.
It's like learning an instrument.
No, it definitely is.
It's a lifetime of practice.
Definitely, and like I hope that I'll just be using my DAW for my life. I feel because it's weird, isn't it weird that like nowadays everyone has to like have a little bit of DAW literacy if you're in the music industry, or like a little bit
in order to record yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and that's also kind of what all of our bands. They're all of our favorite modern bands that are on the posters and your shirt and whatnot. They kind of. All right, no. Let me rephrase this. They didn't start the home recording thing. Home recording had been around since Les Paul invented multi-track recording, and he recorded in his own home. But the home DAW recording, that is kind of started around that, the 2000s, when again people like Misha and what have you found a way to sort of record at home, just their guitars and whatnot.
Dude, now with amp sims, dude, it's like you can like have like with really good like drum samples, you can have like the craziest sounding like rock and like sounds like legit rock,
and it's your demo.
And it's your it's your demo. And B, it just sounds like so full. Like you needed to be like miking up the loudest things, and like you could be recording all this, and your like roommates would have like all they hear is like the little plink of an electric guitar at loudest.
Right.
And that's it.
And somebody on here actually pointed out something cool. So when we were we're talking about like DAW record, like just DAW recording, doing that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole just DIY in music in general really started out with the New York jazz loft scene, which was a lot of free jazz artists back in the early 20th century, and it evolved and got bigger and bigger in the 60s. Free jazz artists that weren't, people didn't want to necessarily hear that kind of music, so they basically in these lofts in New York would put on concerts in there, and they learned how to promote themselves just on their own without the help of record companies or anything, which was unheard of back then.
I'm sure.
If anyone wanted to play somewhere or, have any sort of recognition, you had to go through a record company or get some sort of publishing deal or whatever. Now, these guys did it themselves.
When was this?
I mean, it was basically like in the 50s and 60s when it really started to get.
That's unheard of, like being like self-made.
Well, one of the guys that's
60s.
Well, one of the guys that's really connected to that and basically helped build that whole scene is this guy by the name of Juma Sultan.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard me talk about him.
No,
probably. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, you'll recognize Juma Sultan in pictures of Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock. He was one of his conga players, but he's done a lot more than just play congas for Jimmy.
I'd play congas for Jimmy if I could.
Yes. Well, but so Juma is from the free jazz world, and he was a huge part of the jazz loft scene. And he and so many of his friends were all about. They basically set up their own. They themselves were the marketing team, basically. They had their own way of promoting their shows and going out and getting and building an audience without the help of anybody.
That's
all right. So so the idea of just DIY didn't start in the 2000s when the record industry started really plummeting because of Napster. I'm saying just like do-it-yourself recording on a laptop, that thing started in the 2000s. But the idea of just like do it yourself, circling back to indie, that starts with the jazz loft scene in New York.
I could see it also kind of starting from like almost like an electronic music standpoint, where it's like a lot of people were just able to make these like crazy massive sounding electronic sounds on just a laptop.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure like at that, because I feel like,
well, electronic music's been around even since like
50s as well.
Earlier than that, music concrete.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to argue the theremin.
The
theremin, or like there are some like early like electric like pianos in like the 20s.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me.
Yeah. But I wouldn't call that electronic music. When I think of electronic music, I think it's like I don't mean to say purely artificial, because that just sounds
like synthesized.
Yeah. Because not played on an acoustic instrument or an electric instrument like a guitar or something like that.
What's the something on Bach? What's the
oh my god, yes. Switched on Bach.
Switched on Bach. I feel like that was a huge turning point for that stuff.
It was. Yeah. Oh,
I never listened to Switched on Bach, actually. I've only heard about it.
Punk was jazz all along. Yes, it was.
Punk was jazz all. No, totally. It's very like I feel like punk is like performative jazz. I feel.
It's like the opposite side of the same coin.
No, yeah, no. I feel
like anti-jazz, but in that way, it's the most jazz.
It's rebellious.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you have that rawness with the attitude. And you have because jazz, what sets it apart from classical music is, there's composition, but the way to be authentic when playing jazz is you're listening and you're creating in the moment. You're improvising. A song can go anywhere. One professor I had who got to work with Ron Carter and Jimmy Cobb, okay, two of the biggest names in that genre, period. He said you need to be listening 1,000% when you play with those guys, because if they really trust you when you're playing with them, that song will go anywhere. And I mean anywhere. And you better be able to hang in there. He told the story one time that he was playing with Ron Carter in New York. Mm-hmm. They're like, all right, what songs do you want to do? All right, let's do this. So they're playing the tune. They play the head. Mm-hmm. Ron Carter stops playing. What that means is, I trust you enough to be able to carry the song without me. Again, anything can happen.
That is horrifying.
But he was that good. He was able to do that.
I guess he trusted. I guess there was trust there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, now, okay, but in a way, jazz is, I don't want to say it's a rebellion to classical music, but in a way it counters it.
Yeah, no, I could see it, like
classical music is very
rules.
Well, orchestrated. It's all written out. You play what's on the page.
A lot of rules. No, there's like stuff like no parallel fits and whatnot. There's nothing like that.
That stopped that stopped after the Baroque period.
I mean, that's true. But there are some inherent stylistic rules depending on the period you're in.
Yeah.
Very traditional.
It's very possible to It was very possible to play something in that, to compose something in that era, and have someone look at it and be like, "Why? Why would you ever compose this?"
Right. Yeah. And then, of course, not only that, classical music even got more and more rebellious. I mean, it's been rebellious. There's been rebellious people in every area of it, but when it really turned itself, when it really was basically giving the finger to its predecessors, was when the avant-garde and the 12-tone stuff started happening.
Oh yeah, that stuff was
when you get Schoenberg doing 12-tone and all that stuff. He's literally giving the finger to
any well-organized tonalism.
Yeah, just no key, none of that. So, but then again, but jazz will do. Jazz and classical, that's what really separates those two. I forget the point I was going with. Oh yeah, and then so punk is
and jazz.
Yeah. So, and because when punk came out, that was in the height of disco, but also that's when progressive rock was at its
very well organized rock, and then
very symphonic.
Exactly.
Okay. You look at you look at all the bands that people are going to name in that genre. Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Genesis, all that music's organized like a symphony in a way, but it's rock music.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then punk comes along and basically says, "Yeah, screw that. We're not doing this.
We're just gonna chunk a couple of power chords, sing a melody, and get the hell out of here."
Yeah. But it was cool though, because it gave music kind of a kick in the ass.
No, definitely. It's always, I feel like everyone always rebels against complex music versus simple music, and I feel that it always bugs me. I feel, why can't you just enjoy both?
Yeah,
I feel like they both have their place.
Ebbs and flows, because then you get the 80s, you had all the hair metal,
right?
That to the extreme, make everything big and grand. And
right.
In the 90s, you get grunge. You're like, no, that's dumb. Let's strip it back down.
Yeah.
Figure out, and then I feel like we just keep going through these cycles.
Yeah, and then you have but then you also get the stuff what I would consider the gray area with that. You've got the hair bands that are it's this whole big production, and it's all songs about partying and whatnot. And then you have the 90s where it's grunge, strip all that away. We're going back to 4 chords, but in between that, the hair stuff. And then the grunge happening is Guns N' Roses, because Guns N' Roses kind of brought us back
to rock.
Brought us back to reality. It's like
it's a guy going up on stage playing a Les Paul, like
smoking a cigarette,
doing all the rock stuff. Dude, yeah, no one had when Guns N' Roses came out, like the idea of like playing a Les Paul, like Guns N' Roses saved Gibson.
Yeah.
Like no one was buying Les Pauls back then.
No, I mean you saw it, but like as far as like you seeing a Les Paul on MTV,
no.
I'm probably gonna get shot if I say this because I might be missing a few people. But like really, the probably at that point the last time you saw a Les Paul on MTV 70s. Was Randy Rhoads.
No, yeah,
because he played a Les Paul. But then so it's, but Guns N' Roses comes back in, and not just like. But not just with the look, the actual composition. You had somewhat 70s inspired hard rock, but it didn't sound dated.
No, yeah, it sounded fresh.
And not only that, the whole landscape of lyrics changed. In a way, they kind of steered lyric writing around to a degree. And obviously you had Metallica, at that point, writing different lyrics too. I mean, everybody was writing different types of lyrics, but as far as like what's dominating MTV at that point, you've got all the hair bands dominating it, and everything is basically about partying, good time, this beautiful woman and all that. Guns N' Roses comes on. What are they singing about? We live in the streets and we're addicted to heroin, and this is what real poverty is,
Yeah, no,
and it's
definitely.
just like, whoa, okay. And there you go. It's like, again, the punk. There's an example right there. The punk attitude taking the pristine, well-organized thing, just
you're punching it in the face. Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
No, it's. I love.
Hair metal without all the fluff added. It was like more authentic.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And not only that, you had. Now, again, that's not me trying to shit on hair bands by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying how, when you look at it, that's kind of what's going on. And but it's, and even though you had guitar virtuosity in the 80s, because that's when, you have Randy Rhoads, Yngwie, and all those guys. And I didn't put Eddie in there because he kind of predates that, because late 70s.
No, yeah.
But then you had one of two things. You had either the insane shredding, which is very classically influenced.
Yeah.
Or you had just straight up pentatonics, or whatever.
More blues based, I guess.
Yeah. And then but then you start to see stuff kind of in between there when GNR comes in.
It kind of is varied. Like if you think about it, with the whole like guitar, like how they were like kind of ripping off classical bass, it's kind of, and the rock guys were ripping off more blues bass. I feel like that does directly correlate with jazz and classical.
Yes.
Where classical is very, obviously classical bass, and jazz has definitely some deep roots with the blues as well. So I feel like this is definitely exactly what we're talking about, with the same side of the same coin, or different side of the same coin.
It's interesting how like history does kind of repeat itself, but with a different filter, with a different flavor,
different makeup.
Yeah, exactly, different makeup. Yeah, I know. And what I was going to point out was, and Slash is by no means a neoclassical player, but like I said, you had the Yngwie Malmsteen type people. And you had the more straight pentatonic guys, that would stay in their box shape. But then Slash, he's doing both. He's doing a little bit of both. He's not doing the neoclassical thing, but
like he'll still break out like harmonic minor for example, like the Sweet Child of Mine solo.
Exactly.
That starts off in harmonic minor.
That's right. And not only that, you have him and the end of Night Train. He's soloing over changes. He's not just playing. I mean, there's pentatonic licks in there, but he's soloing over changes and marking the changes. Okay. You have I mean, it's all over GNR's catalog.
No, definitely.
Kind of off topic. It's a really underrated GNR song is Locomotive.
I've never heard it.
Oh, okay. See what I'm talking about? So it's on the second Use Your Illusion album.
I've only ever like grazed the Use Your Illusion albums. I've never like actually like sat down and listened to them a bunch.
It's absolutely worth the listen. Use Your Illusion 2 is the more popular one.
Mm-hmm.
You'll recognize stuff on there. I mean, Civil War is on there.
Okay,
yeah. You Could Be Mine is on there. Mm-hmm. Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Yeah.
And the Locomotive is one of the deeper cuts on there. But it's like a 7-minute extravaganza.
I'll have to check it out after this podcast ends.
Yeah, and it does sound like a Locomotive. One thing, one of the people commenting on here will love to bring this up, is there's a video. They rarely performed this song, but there's a video of them doing a sound check. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it in London or something? They're doing a sound check, and they were supposed to play that song live, and Jeff Beck was going to come out and play it with them. And there's video from someone in their crew took video of the sound check, them playing that song with Jeff Beck, and it was the concert that didn't happen because Jeff, I think, got sick that night or something. So he didn't get to play it with them, but it's so cool, and they're doing it instrumentally. Axl's not there. They're just
Axl's probably drunk.
I don't know, maybe, or sleeping, but
sleeping.
Yeah,
hungover,
or
a mix of all
the above. But so he, but yeah, and you're watching them trade with Jeff Beck, and it's just so cool seeing them go back and forth with him.
No, yeah,
and you can tell though that like Jeff really does appreciate what they're doing. And you can tell that they're really, really into it too, because he influenced them.
Oh yeah.
He was at least 20 years older than those guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
rest in peace, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, and it was in Paris actually.
Paris. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was in.
I'll have to check that video out as well, because that does sound, because I also really love Jeff Beck's playing.
Yeah.
How can you not?
Oh yeah. I never got to see him. Did you guys?
I never did. No.
I was so mad when I saw that he was at MGM, and I completely missed the fact that he was there, and I was just like, oh, I'll catch him again. Well, that ain't happening.
No, yeah. That's how I was when Paul McCartney came around.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
wait. He's not dead, is he?
No, he's not dead. No, thank God.
You scared the shit out of me.
When I meant around, I meant like here.
Okay.
Yeah, no. When Paul McCartney came here, I was like, dude, there's a chance that this is the last time I could ever get to see Paul McCartney, like a Beatle.
Did you go?
I did go.
Okay.
I'm very actually.
So
I got tickets for the Fenway. Yes.
Yeah.
I got tickets for the wrong night.
Oh, that's funny.
And I showed up, and they were like telling me to go to like the ticket booth, and they were like your tickets aren't scanning for some reason. I'm like, no, what happened?
Oh, so you just and they're like, oh no, this is tomorrow.
No, this was for the night before.
Oh,
and luckily, me and my friend were we huddled up and we were looking at all the people, and all the people taking tickets, and we were trying to we pieced together who we thought the person who would feel the most bad for us would be, by looking at them. And then we walked up and we kind of played.
You're like Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone, begging every airline for a ticket to get to Chicago.
No, exactly. And then we pulled up and we were like, oh no, these were for yesterday. And she was like, as long as you don't do this again, I can let you guys in. And we were so excited because you know what that meant?
What did that mean?
We didn't have tickets. We just needed to find any empty seats.
Oh, where did you sit?
We couldn't get into GA, unfortunately, because that was all gated off.
Yeah.
But we got the nicest we could get in the grandstands.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know the terminology for Fenway, but we got as close as we could in the seated.
That's good. Yeah, I was there too. I was there with my whole family actually.
It was awesome.
That was such a good show. Yeah, and what was nice about that was I've seen him before at Yankee Stadium,
you got the two baseball stadiums.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what's even more
the
funny.
Rivals.
That's what's even more funny. Yeah, I saw him at Yankee Stadium, but we were so off to the side, we barely could see him.
Oh, that's annoying. At the very least, no matter what happens when he sings "Live and Let Die," you still get a show.
Oh yeah,
no matter where you are.
Yeah, and at the Fenway show, I was actually facing the stage. So
that's awesome.
Good. Yeah, what was cool about the Yankee Stadium show was that like he played some songs that I really wanted him to play, but I was like, "There's not a chance."
Really? Like what? Do you remember any?
Yeah. So the second song off of "Help" the night before.
Oh no way! That's awesome.
And he gets.
I'm a huge Beatles head, so
Oh yeah, and I love that song. And he goes, "This is only the second time he did 2 nights." He goes, "This is only the second time we've ever played this song," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's not gonna happen." Starts and I'm like, "What the?"
So you read your mind.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, I was happy on our I was like on all the other nights. I thought I like knew that like what this. I'm kind of terrible. I always peep the set.
Yeah.
On all the other nights, like he was not playing. He had a very consistent set, so I thought I knew what I was in for. And then he threw in Jet in there just for a special. I don't know what for, but he just threw in Jet, and I was like, nice.
Well, here's the thing. Too. He's had the same band for like.
They're a good group of musicians.
Yeah, like over 20 years.
They're a good group.
Yeah, he's had the same band for over 20 years. So like they know his back catalog inside and out, backwards and forwards.
No, I'm sure they can pull out whatever.
He could probably pull out any song from his back catalog at this point, and they'd be fine.
Play some like weird song off of like Ram or something, like one of the weird lo-fi ones.
It is probably your job if you're in Paul McCartney's band to know every song at this point.
Dude, if I was in Paul McCartney's band, I would know every song and John's.
Yes, exactly. And George and Ringo's in case there's a birthday or anniversary.
Exactly. Every song off of like All Things Must Pass.
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know if he's going to want to play Cracker Box Palace. He might want to.
He might want to play Wah Wah.
Yeah, he might want to do My Sweet Lord. Okay? Anything can happen. Yeah, but yeah, and the other thing he played at Yankee Stadium that I was really happy about was he did Paperback Writer, which is that's the first Beatles song I ever learned.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what mine is?
What's that?
Hey Bulldog. You know that one? The bum bum
bum. Yeah.
I love that. That was like my favorite. That was my first ever favorite song, actually.
Wow, that's so cool.
Because I loved the Yellow Submarine movie.
So we both started with our first Beatles songs were songs that like are not the one most people would start with.
Yeah, like that one.
Oh, I love April Wine. Did that joke go over everyone's head?
I missed that completely.
Okay, so April Wine has a song called I Like to Rock, and at the end of the song, they play Day Tripper, and they overlay it over top of Satisfaction.
No, really, that's so fun. I've never heard the song.
Yeah, it's a decent song. That's their most famous one.
Totally.
They're a band out of Canada. But yeah, so yeah. Oh, and not only that, he played Paperback Writer on the original guitar. It was recorded on.
Really?
He still had it.
That's insane. I know. Like I don't know if the violin bass is the one from the old Beatles days. I'm sure it isn't.
I think he has a. Well, I'm sure
he has it, but. I don't know if he tours with it. I don't know the lore behind that.
I don't know. It's interesting. What's the what song? This person's first Beatles song was the what? I can't. Oh, the Rains. Oh my God! Now we're gonna get controversial here. Does everyone understand what he's referencing?
Was it like a Led Zeppelin song?
Yeah, but. All right, so think about how the Rain song goes.
Mm-hmm.
What else does that sound like? The song Something.
Oh.
See, think about it.
Is he trying to say it's like a ripoff?
Pretty much.
That's correct. I mean, everyone always said claims Led Zeppelin rips off like a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you compare a lot of the stuff, musicologists still point this out. But yeah, it's yeah. Does anyone have any questions for any of us, by the way? I mean, I'm loving the conversations we're having, but like,
any questions down here?
George's social security number is.
Say that. Someone commented. Is Brad saying Beatles overrated? No way. What are your thoughts on Beatles overrated?
Canceled. No.
I'm gonna come in with the most controversial thing. I think they're just all right.
You think
they are perfectly?
I'll be like the biggest Beatles like defender like on the face of this earth.
I love the Beatles too. Yeah.
No, like I've gone to like long arguments with Pete where it's like no, but like that it's so influential and this and that and the songs are good and no, like, he's having like none of it.
I just like new wacky experimental music,
right?
Metal. So I'm like, I appreciate the Beatles for what they did. It's not something I'm going to go out of my way to listen to every day.
Well, if you check some of their songs, though, they do go in like really weird, unorthodox directions.
No, I mean, I've definitely, like the initial time, like I was just giving George a hard time.
Right.
Final, give them more of a chance. And there's some cool stuff. I'm like, wow, I should have probably given them a chance.
Yeah.
Like Maxwell's Silver Hammer. I didn't know they wrote that. That's so.
No, Maxwell's Silver. No,
song they wrote.
I will take any opportunity just to tell you how like amazing like most Beatles songs are.
You know, I tell so many people, it's interesting how like I see people who are into certain things and they may not like this other thing over here, but then if you know what this other thing that they don't necessarily like entails and you know what they're into, for example, let me put it to you this way. If you're a keyboard player and a guitar player and you really are into classic rock and you like modern metal too, but you're not necessarily into electronic music, but you're very much into keyboards and synthesis and stuff, I would say check out Depeche Mode. You may not be into them, but like listen to what they're doing.
Depeche Mode's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I already love that song, and then you make it a bunch of fucking synths, and I'm like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. But like literally, Top Com's like, oh, this is just Depeche Mode. it's just.
Yeah, I mean,
the guitars.
Well, they influenced that for sure. Yeah, I saw them at TD Garden on Halloween.
Really?
That was such a good show.
I feel like I don't go to a whole lot of concerts, but it's like I feel like concerts have become so expensive. Like I can I can usually,
who you're seeing.
That's true. But I feel like a lot of the time I can only really justify going to like a lot of my like favorites a lot of the time.
Right.
Which is unfortunate. Because like sometimes it's like, do I go to a concert or do I put money into like a piece of software that I might need for recording?
I would argue go to a concert because you meet more people.
That's true. I mean, depends on the concert. I feel. Or like
no, not really.
I guess you could meet people like a TD Garden concert. It's true.
Well, there's a couple things you're gonna do. You're gonna make friends with people in the stands, and what is that? People are gonna come to your shows then.
No, exactly.
They might also be other musicians that might want to put bills together with you.
That's true.
Not only that, I talked about this last week actually. Get to know the people working at the ticket office.
Yeah.
Get to meet the people working the front door. Get to meet. Yes. Yeah. Get to meet the stagehands.
Totally.
Just know everybody.
Yeah, you never know what'll click.
You
I guess.
Never know. What would you guys think if I told you if I told you that I know the guy that did monitors for Depeche that night?
Oh, really?
And he's not a member of their crew, but he's in the stagehand union.
Huh.
So there you go.
Before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then I was like,
you lost it.
Well,
I feel like it's tough to do a lot of this stuff in school, but like because we're in our last semester and it's kind of like senioritis is hitting. I'm sure I plan to go out, spend much more nights out because I feel like nights out are way more productive than nights in as a musician.
That should be every night that you guys don't have a gig or your own rehearsal. That's what I would recommend you do. Highly. Every single weekend I go out to see somebody, totally. You know, and it's, and you're always going to get so much more out of it than just sitting at home watching TV or whatever.
Totally.
You know, you can always buy that other, that software plugin you're talking about. But if you spend the money and you go see this band who God knows if they're going to tour again.
That's true.
Yeah. Someone asked a question, speaking of,
I was just going to say, like, the thing that got me into music was just going to shows. I'm like, wait, this is just fun. And like, this is,
right.
Go and do this. So
yeah,
I just love going to shows. I'm always trying to go to more shows.
That's, no, absolutely. I mean, you're always, if a person once said, if you stay at home, you're going to guarantee that nothing's going to happen. Whereas if you go out, anything could happen.
That's true.
There you go. And a person you and I both know said that.
Yeah.
So
shout out to our boss.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. So someone asked on here, the person you've been conversing with, how hard is it to gig frequently when venues keep closing or losing their license like Exhibit A? Well, I don't know if they did, actually. I feel like something happened with that. And I saw them advertising shows. That might be resolved. I don't know.
Nice.
So don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, no, that was a damn. I had something scheduled at Exhibit A. I had to cancel it.
Oh, so you got that same blast email?
I was opening for someone, and that person had to tell me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I mean,
I got the memo.
Yeah, and it goes. And some places make you wait 3 months.
No, wait, no. I think they are. I think Exhibit A is back because I did in fact see something like a show plan scheduled for there.
Well, good then. Exhibit A, I'll be hitting you guys up. Yeah. So, yeah. How many people do I have on there right now? I can't even say.
No, I don't know where to look.
Yeah. Yeah, your thing's like blowing up over there, which is great.
I get people that come in and come out. A lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of passersby.
Yeah, a lot of passersby, yeah. So I mean, what do you guys got like with the Ghouls? What do you guys got coming up next besides our gig in basically down the street from here, I guess.
Well, I could just pull up the Ghouls website.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go to the ghouls.net/shows, we got some stuff coming up. We got 6 gigs posted.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of gigs.
Yeah, we've been doing pretty good for us. A couple of them at the Middle East, which we're very happy about. We had one very recently at the Middle East as well.
Right.
We got Oxford. We were playing with Joe's band, Sunset Boulevard.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so silly.
Yeah.
Have you sat in?
Just
because apparently the drinks are like $3.
Have you sat in with them?
I've never sat in with them. I think I got offered once, but it never ended up happening.
I've played with them full sets with them as the second guitar player a bunch of times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I played with them New Year's 2019 going into 2020. And you want to know what was so funny that night?
Yeah.
And again, this is about you guys advertising your gigs, but this is just funny. Everyone there, it was in Worcester.
Yeah.
Everyone is just like, this last decade sucks. 2020 is going to be the year.
Oh,
yeah. They were like, F 2019, we're starting fresh, new decade. This is it. This is our year.
3 months later.
3 months later. I'm just like, what?
Now you're trying to teach a 5-year-old how to play guitar on Zoom.
Yeah. That was fun. Anyway, enough of COVID New Year's. Tell me, so what else you guys got? Yeah.
What we got
a bunch of gigs.
We got a weekender at the Worthen.
2 gigs at the Worthen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first night with Broken Daisies.
Which Broken Daisy, I work at last night at church. That's the band leader of the church's band that he plays with. So it's gonna be fun.
We got Bike Thrasher.
Bike Thrasher and Fat Randy.
Oh hell yeah! That's the following night.
A fun name, but Bike Thrasher rocks. Was that our first show?
First show at Tango's.
First show at Tango's.
That's what it was. Which is a big Lowell basement.
Nice.
And
is it
a basement venue?
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, is that it, or is this a house party you're doing?
No, they got their little basement. We have the Valley, which I think they're trying to secretly come back. If I'm ruining your stuff, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm blowing up the spot. I'm sorry.
The CIA starts pounding on your door.
No, they'll be pounding on their door, like his landlord, I guess. And then we also have Tangos is the other one, which is both of them are pretty close to here.
Okay.
We also have after that we have Max's gig with the Max Boris. Is there anyone? Who's the other band?
Wired for Sound.
Yeah.
Have you played with them before at all?
I don't think I have.
They're awesome.
Nice.
They're awesome. Yeah. Both of you guys have played the original, not the original. It's still there. The first Koto location.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know if you guys had run into them there ever or whatever, but yeah.
No, we just did the one gig there, but we have a gig at end of February with Airport at the new Koto location.
No, wait, no. See, we're with the Koto location. Airport's at Warp and Weft.
Yeah.
Just throw Lowell on all these. I don't know where.
If you click in,
it's just because you guys are playing in Lowell all the time.
We're just playing so many shows. We're just
exactly.
Yeah. We're on tour. We don't know what city. We don't know what city we're in half the time.
Lowell tour, baby.
Yeah.
I just have Ghouls gig in my calendar. George tells me where to go.
That's funny.
And then March 1st, you can buy tickets for it at the Middle East. We're working up that one's gonna be really good. Then there's after that, the rest are just stuff we're working on right now. But there are more shows that are going to be announced as well.
You guys writing any music or?
Oh yeah, we just debuted at the last Middle East gig. We just debuted our a song called Dr. Heat.
Oh, cool! All right.
Nice. It's the most sharp direction we've ever gone. We had like this 7-minute song about like this super villain called Dr. Heat.
Oh, cool!
All right. Then there's a guy there's like a big fight in the middle with this Mr. Ice.
This sounds like something Mr. Bungle would write about, but I love it.
No, it's fun, and then there's a whole bat fight in the middle. It's like a huge guitar solo. It's cool. We'll play it if you go to any of the shows.
I want to hear this song at the show we're all doing.
I'll do it. We'll break it out. No, it's a guarantee. If you go to, is it February 16th, correct?
Yes, it is. February
16th at Koto Lowell. It's a Friday night. Yeah, this was the one at the Koto Lowell. You can catch Dr. Heat.
And you can get tickets for that on the Bands in Town link that's in my link tree, your website, all over the place.
Yes.
It is absolutely awesome.
I'll correct the poster on that after this. I never got around to that.
Oh, yeah. You know what's interesting? I just thought of this. I was talking with the last band about this too. You're like, I just have a Ghouls gig in my calendar, and then George tells me where to. So what are the jobs of everyone in the band? Who's the Secretary of Treasury? Who's A&R? Who's the manager? Who's the?
I'll let you know what our disorganized mess is.
Love it.
We have we kind of all co-manage a little bit in terms of the Instagram, social media.
A lot of bands will do that. Yeah.
We have a group Venmo for our band fund.
Okay.
It's actually very convenient.
Yeah.
We can anytime we get a thing, we just throw it in this nice little bank account that we can see.
And you only withdraw from that for stuff that's going to the band.
Exactly.
Not like if you want to go and buy yourself a case of beer or whatever.
No, that's ridiculous.
No.
We just feel like that's a bunch of it on that recording time.
Yeah, exactly. We put some of that money into the recording time.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. What if someone wants to buy themselves a new pedal for their board and they insist this is going to happen? This is for this song.
The only
is it yes or is it? Are you going to give them the?
I'm only going to give them that. I'm only going to give them that if I didn't suggest it.
Okay.
Or if one of us did suggest it the other, and then we all agree. That's the only situation.
We all have I don't know, enough mutual respect for each other. We're not really doing it.
Yeah, we're not trying to fuck each other over.
I wasn't doing that to accuse anyone.
No, I totally get it.
I was bringing that up because that is something a lot of bands have to figure out when they decide to make a joint bank account for the they got to write up terms and conditions and all that.
We're all kind of on the same page with that stuff.
No, exactly.
I figured.
I don't know. At least for me, I'm trying to get into the whole pedal thing once I graduate.
Right.
So I just built a pedal kit.
So he just built a cool tube-skinner kit.
I'll build you the pedal. You know, the band fund. I'll build it.
Nice. Yeah. Who is the band agent?
Band talks to people?
No, that gets gigs for everyone.
Oh,
we've all been kind of getting some gigs.
Yeah, we kind of co-do that. Like we all, a lot of the gigs we get is through our DMs and our Instagram. To be honest,
that's how so many people are doing it now.
That's where I think there are like the vast majority of the gigs we get are definitely through DMs.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why it's important to have social media. But I'm also finding too that like Facebook is kind of going the way of MySpace now.
No, definitely. To be honest, the way I set up my Facebook is I set it so every single time I post on the Instagram, it posts on the Facebook as well. And right. I just kind of check the Facebook sometimes, but that's
well, which one has the most traction though? That's what I'm curious.
Instagram
about.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially we're like college age kids.
Exactly.
Our demographic right now, like I don't know any. Like even I'm a little bit older because I switched majors.
No, he's.
But even like my friends are like, Facebook, fuck off, dude. Don't send me Facebook.
I have such a funny story about that. So I want to say this is late 2019, early 2020. So I had graduated college by this point. But the guy who was playing bass in my band at the time, him and those guys were just about to finish up college. So they're still in Boston and they do a basement show in Allston. So I go, now I'm graduated, so I know I'm going to be a lot older than most of the people there. And I also started college at 23 years old.
Yeah.
So, I was on my own health insurance by the time I graduated.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking in there, I'm like 27, 28 years old. And I'm talking to just a bunch of people who I guess were like, sophomores at the school or whatever. I'm just making conversation, letting them know, the bass player and I have a band as well. You were playing, whatever.
Totally.
So I'm talking to like 10 people. And then after like 7 minutes of the conversation, everyone's like, so wait, what's your name again? What's your name? What's your name? And then the old man over here goes, because I still had Facebook at the time. I'm like, we'll all remember once we all reconvene on Facebook. This person who had to have been 19 looks at me and goes, Facebook, how old are you? I'm like, wow, the culture's changing.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But it is.
To be honest, I'm good with technology.
Yeah.
I look at Facebook and I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Like it's the one website I just don't know how to use is Facebook.
Seems like it's in the spot.
No, and I always feel like I'm just messing things up. I'm like, there have been several times I've just messed up there's no other website or program that has confused me like Facebook has.
That's interesting.
It's really strange. It's something that's that widely used too.
Well, the thing though too is that like so many things we were talking before about like one thing that is a certain way. That sentence makes no sense. You have an entity that is constructed a certain way that so many people gravitate towards, but then this other thing comes in and then just like knocks that one out. Whether it be jazz and classical or punk and prog or Guns N' Roses and hair metal, however you want to categorize that one. The way of recording and whatnot. Social media is doing the same thing too. You had MySpace, then that got knocked out by Facebook, and Instagram came out shortly after Facebook, along with Twitter. But now again, the only people that are really using Facebook are people that are our parents' age, pretty much at this point. I don't think anyone.
I feel like it's like weirdly cycled back to the original target demographic of people who were in college at that time.
Yes.
And I feel like it's like kind of like that generation older is still the people are still using it.
Right.
I feel like everyone was on it and then everyone else got off it.
Yeah, people that got it in the 2000s when it was a thing. I got mine in like 2009 and then I stopped using it after a while because I wasn't getting any traction with what I was doing. And I posted all over the place. Like it wasn't just posting on my timeline. I would look at like 20 different forums that had to do with the area I was playing in or the video I just done. and I would just shove it in all of those. It was written in my schedule, and just like, algorithms. So yeah, it's just, but yeah, I am finding more so. I've gone to NAMM and seen people talking to their heroes who are at a booth, and maybe they've done something cool, and that famous musician wants to stay in touch with them, and they'll be like, "What works for you?" Instagram. This thing is going to be,
it's turned into every social media. If it sees another social media it's competing with, it just copies it completely. TikTok, Snapchat, Vine.
Isn't it hilarious though that Snapchat disappeared and then for some reason people started using it again, and I don't know why.
No, yeah, I always feel so bad when people ask me like, "Hey, what's your Snapchat?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. I'm not. I don't use this much."
It's like, dude, I have not used that since I was 24. What the, since I was in college, or even you say Vine. It's like, is that even a thing still?
No, it's not a thing.
That's 2012, 13. Yeah. That's the original version of TikTok.
No, definitely. Short form videos.
It was so funny when someone explained to me what TikTok was. I'm like,
that's fine.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. And again, the comment, "You're old." Yes, I know. Okay. But look at all those chickens in Mary Chrysler. Okay. That's where that all came from. So there you go. And don't make me go into the whole surreal memes thing, because then we would just...
Then we'll be here all day talking like how memes evolved.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole nother conversation.
But in a way, though, that's how, because it has to do with culture. There are some bands that are like, their newsfeed is flooded with that, and all their fans are connected into that culture, and the music doesn't, necessarily center around memes, but that becomes part of their outreach to how they reach out to their fans. Again, I said this last week. Look at 100 Gex Discord server.
Oh my God. I'm sure.
It's just, oh God.
I believe it's a mess.
Yeah, but all those...
That's what they do.
That's their community.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, you just got to find out who you are as, what is your image, and how do you best, you don't craft your image based on what you think people will like. You figure out who you are. And you have your existential crisis.
No,
and then after you've gotten out of the existential crisis, you then got to figure out, all right, who's going to dig what we're doing? How do we reach out to them?
No, definitely.
I could talk about this all day, but I do know you guys have rehearsal at some point.
We got scheduled for... I got pushed back a half hour to 5, so that's good.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I think there are still people on. I'm not sure, but I don't want to talk you guys' ear off all day. Although I've really loved where this is. We've just gone all over the map.
It's been great. I've had a really good time. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been a
yeah. And I'm glad you were able to chime in with this too, even though you're off camera. But yeah.
If you ever want to do it again, like a band podcast,
I do want to do that.
The Ghouls hit up a podcast. I know everyone in our band would be more than happy to do something like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to have you guys come back, and then let's do it with everyone.
No, I've been we're all chatty Cathys. We'll definitely be able to.
Yeah. Your band's a 5-piece, 4-piece? 4-piece. Okay, yeah, cool. New interface, more inputs. Like we were just talking about before.
Yeah, bring your or we can
the 18i20.
Bring the 18.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have to buy more lapel mics at that point. Oh man. All right. Well, hey everyone, thank you for chiming in. This has been a lot of fun. Yeah. George, Peter, thanks for this. This has been a really good time. All right. So remember, we're
set up.
Yep. What up? Yep. Yeah, make sure that you check out their social media and their website, ghouls.net. Make sure that you come out to see us play. We're playing with Wired for Sound on the 16th, basically down the street from here in Lowell, at Koto in Lowell. And what up? Yep.
I'm getting you while you speak.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Getting the ads.
Yep, make sure you check out.
Brought to you by Squarespace. That's where we did the Ghouls website.
Very good, very good. GoDaddy over here, but that's fine. Yeah, they're all good.
Brought to you by Squarespace and GoDaddy.
Boom! Awesome. And what seltzer do people drink here? Liquid Death?
I don't drink a whole lot of seltzer.
Polar.
I was about to say if I do, it's Polar.
Yes.
If I do, it's Polar.
I drink Polar. So
I think Polar is like
it's from here.
Here, it's like no one from like Texas knows what like Polar is, or
No.
like Arkansas.
Nah.
It's from like Worcester area.
Yeah.
My dad worked there when he was in high school.
Oh no way. That's awesome. Do you still get a discount?
Probably not. They're like, he doesn't count. He's on here.
Yeah, no, it's that is the best seltzer by far. Like if I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and my mouth is dry, that fixes everything. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
how did we get on to a discussion about Poland? Okay. Check out their websites.
Oh yeah,
check out everything.
Check out Max Boris's stuff.
Thank you. And yeah, on the 16th you can catch us and Wired for Sound. The 16th of February. At Koto in Lowell. I still need to check that location out.
No, definitely. We got at least get takeout there.
Yeah.
We went to the Salem one.
Oh, they treated us like royalty, dude.
That place is awesome. I've played there a couple times, actually with Sunset. Believe it or not.
Oh no, I want to play there with Sunset.
Yeah, it was so. Yeah, it was a really good time. Yeah. Dave from Dave, their guitar player, he does sound there a lot.
Oh no way.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So
I think Joe told me something about that.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. This has been a great time. And yeah, go to all the social media and everything. Spooky, say hi.
What's up, Spook?
It's awesome. All right, everyone. Subscribe to all the social media. Go to the shows, do everything. And we'll see you next time.
Later.
All right. Don't start saying controversial